The Succubus attacks of Sarah Clements. Sarah Clements, a young woman in the state of Idaho, was the subject of at least 4 succubus attacks. The first attack took place soon after she turned 17. Her own diary captured her account of the encounter as follows. "I woke up 3 nights ago. I'm still so scared. I woke up knowing that something was there. I saw a woman standing at the foot of my bed. She looked very old. Older than I ever thought anyone could be and still be alive. Her skin was gray and looked flaky like ash. Her eyes were yellow and looked like a cat's. I tried to sit up but I couldn't move. My arms and legs were pinned down and I couldn't move at all. She moved towards me. More like gliding than stepping. I have never been so afraid. She reached a finger and it had a long claw on it. She ran it down the front of my pajama shorts and the fabric just parted. I couldn't do anything to stop her as she climbed on top of me. She kissed me on the lips and her mouth tasted and smelled like rotting meat. She started grinding her body against me and grabbed me tight around the throat. I couldn't breathe or struggle. I lost consciousness. It was light outside when I woke up and I felt so weak I could hardly move. My shorts were torn open and there were scratches on my neck. I told my parents and they said it was a bad dream. They thought I scratched my own neck in my sleep. This is not Sarah's only diary entry about the succubus. The next was several months later. This was less detailed. She came back to me last night. The old woman. She did it to me again just like last time. But this morning I woke up with the word, slave, scratched into my stomach. Mom and Dad didn't believe me again. They thought I'd scratched the word into myself to get attention. I feel completely alone and so scared. A third encounter was described by Sarah's best friend Natalie. In a videotaped statement to police, she said, "Sarah was staying over at my house. She seemed really nervous. She wanted to stay up all night watching TV. Like she was scared to go to sleep. But we turned in the end. I woke up suddenly early in the morning. Sarah was making strange heaving noises and jerking around. I turned on the light and she was lying rigid on the bed with her limbs twitching hard like she was having a seizure. Her eyes were open and looked terrified but it seemed like she wasn't properly conscious. Her nightie was up around her waist and her panties were halfway down her thighs. 2 big gashes opened up on her left shoulder right in front of me. They just happened. But there was nothing even touching her. Then she went limp. I shook her awake and she screamed and cried. After I calmed her down she told me that she had been attacked by an old woman and that it kept happening. She was terrified. She kept saying that the old woman owned her and that she was going to drag her to hell and keep her soul prisoner forever." Less than 2 weeks later, Sarah was found dead in her bed. She had been strangled and her neck was broken. The coroner said that the amount of force used was greater than a person could have inflicted. Despite an intensive investigation, no one was ever charged with her murder. The case remains unsolved to this day.